don't know how that lighting is going to be. This is a slightly different angle. Let me see here. This is the cement for... Oh, I got a thumbs up already. Thank you. I haven't even started yet. Just barely getting started. Oh, wow. 2 people in here now. That was fast. That is, if the numbers are correct. Oh, hello, Brandon's Outdoor. How you doing? Is it cool where you are? This is it's such a beautiful day today. And I was this close to not doing a live stream. This close. But, you know, I'm not getting too many videos up these days. Mainly because doing well. And yep, cold. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I heard it was cold up there. Oh, man. I am very happy to be here. No snow, no frost yet, knock on wood. I don't think we have any danger of frost for a while yet. It's going to get... They said there was one day this week that somebody in Kentucky might possibly get into the upper 30s, but it's mostly in the mid to upper 40s, most of us. That's the low at night. And we've got this week coming up. I think there's one day where there's a high of 77, possibly close to 80. But you know what? If the humidity is down, then it's not so bad. You know, I can handle upper 70s. I prefer lower 70s or even upper 60s. Oh, hello there. Oh, man, I don't have this thing close enough to me. Kempton Family Compound. Oh, hi. Brandon's Outdoor. Okay, yeah. Okay, I got to scoot my chair a little bit closer. Okay, now that I've jiggled everybody up and made everybody motion sick, you know. But it's just, I had a little bit too far away, I think. I figured I'd change the angle. I thought briefly about doing this outside because it is so gorgeous, but I was afraid that the sun would wash out the screen, and it would be even harder for me to read the comments. So I was like, well, we'll turn it around so you can see through the door and you can see how nice and beautiful it is out there. And it's a little bit washed out, but so, well, what's been going on? It's been crazy. I haven't had time to do a lot of recording, although I did do a bit with the goats this week, just yesterday, and I hope to get that video up early this week, if not tonight. I'll try and get it edited at least tonight, and I'll see if I can't get it uploaded by tomorrow. But the goats were being very, they're just being goats. That's all. My goats were being goats. So, things are moving forward, although they're moving forward slowly. I'm still working on, I'm trying to build the hay shelter so I can get this barn cleaned out so they can work on the floor. Okay. And I can't do that until I have some place to put hay, and I've got to get hay. They've about get everything grazed down. I still have browse for the goats, and that's good. The goats are finding something to eat, so that's good. I don't have to feed them hay, and we've got no rain in the forecast until the end of the week. So, and this time of year, if we're having a lot of rain, I try to give the goats hay in their shelter because they don't really like to come out in the rain. So I know I'm a spoil. I've seen some people where they just go ahead and they make the goats go out. And a couple places they don't even provide shelter for their goats. But you know what? I'm a softie, and I know goats do not like the rain. So I provide a shelter, and they will hopefully, before it gets cold here, hopefully they will have a new barn. Um, so, but things are just, it's so wonderful to have the cooler temperatures. Now, if I can just stay home long enough to actually get something done. Um, so I thought I was going to be home all day yesterday. And I was going to get something accomplished, but I got a phone call first thing in the morning, and one of the guys I drive, he needed to go to the bank, and they needed to go look at a job. And he knows that if he tells me that they need to go look at a job, that's work, that's business. If I can at all do it, I'm going to take them. Okay, because that's how they support their families. They got to have the job. And what they're working on right now is they're doing a roof on a commercial building, and it's looking really good. It really is. It had a shingled roof to begin with, and they're putting metal over top. And the thing is, it's an odd. The one part of the building is pretty much fine, but then there was an addition put on at the end, and it's got a wonky roof line. And the guy wanted them to make it look better, and to see if they could fix it. Well, the thing is that in order to fix it correctly, it would have required that they tear the whole end roof off and put in proper trusses. The trusses were not done right when they added on to the building. And so they just kind of did a patch job, What on earth? That sounded like Billy. Hold on a second. Billy? Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. That was Billy. And no, that was Billy, my Billy goat. I thought that we were all finished doing his job. Apparently not quite. I think there's one more yet to do. So, yeah, that was his flirtation noise. I tell you, the first time I heard him make that noise, I thought something was dying, and I rushed out, and it's like, and it did sound a little bit off. It's like, if I had just heard it, thinking that he still has his job to do, I probably would have just ignored it, but I thought his job was done. Apparently not. I was wrong. So, yeah. Of course, you might have heard a rooster crow. I'm getting to the point now where I almost don't even hear them. I just kind of ignore them. I've got the two roosters that will be going. I'm sorry. If you attack me, you're not staying. So, but, yeah. I was talking about the roof line. Anyway, yeah, that strip mall. So anyway, the guy didn't want to pay for them to do it right. So they're trying to make it look better. And it does. It looks better than it did. Okay, significantly. So anyway, so they're doing that job. Then they had something local lined up. So I won't be driving them for 3 days probably this week. They're going to be working local, which means they'll drive their horse and buggies, or the guy that's getting them to do the work is going to drive them, one or the other. It all depends on the weather. So anyway, they're talking. I hear my son and my husband out there. They're talking football, I think. They're talking football. Okay. No, I don't do football. Okay. I know there are people out there that do. That's fine. I don't do football. I think I'm the only one in my family that doesn't. I'm sorry. I'll do goats. I do horses. I do chickens. I'll do garden. I don't do football. So anyway, the chickens. Okay. I got wind of a local auction here that is on Tuesdays. And so I am planning on stopping in to check them out this coming Tuesday. And I'm just to see how it operates, because from the description, it sounded like it operates a little bit differently than the one that I went to in New Jersey. And I mean, I was going to be putting a bunch of ducks in my in freezer camp, but I really need the money right now, especially since I got to get hay. And so I figured, well, I'll just keep one for me, and it'll give a good way of getting my hands into butchering a duck. I haven't done football since Pittsburgh were kicking. Okay, 70s. Yeah. I don't think I was even into it then. Oh, hi, Tinker's wife. Welcome. So anyway, I get distracted so easily. It seems like there's an abundance of distractions today. So anyway, so this local auction I got the impression that the small livestock like chickens and ducks and whatever other poultry and maybe rabbits, that they're sold outside in like a flea market kind of setting. And so I'm not sure how that works. From what I understand, it sounds like, I have to take them and I can sell them myself, and set a price, what have you. But I don't know. We'll see. Just hit 1,000. Oh, congratulations! That is wonderful. Congratulations for hitting 1,000. That's a big milestone. Now comes the hard job, getting the views. So hopefully you will get the views. That is an area that I struggle in, but let's be realistic, okay? I'm not able to put the videos out like I need to, and I understand that. So I was like, I don't make a big issue about it. If you can get the videos out there, you'll probably get the views. Me, it's like, I'm just between, driving the Amish, and I'm just gone out a lot. It's really hard to actually record anything. And then when it was so hot, it was really hard to record anything. I'm trying to get back into it. I'm thinking about, that's what, really? Oh, somebody must have clicked on, wait a second. I don't think you can click on the names anymore in the comments, in the chat room, that is. I think YouTube took that out of the way. I don't know why they did that, because I like that. I'd be watching a live stream and I see someone pop up and I kind of like what they're saying. It's like, I want to check them out. And I could easily go and click, but now I can't do that. It's like, seriously, YouTube, that was a useful tool. Why would you take that away? I don't know if they thought people was just going crazy, click on things. No, I used it. It was an easy tool to use for if I saw someone who I thought was interesting, and I would, click on them. It's like, I can't subscribe to everybody. Well, I could, but I can't watch everybody. As a matter of fact, with as busy as I am, there's a lot of people that I'm subscribed to, but I just haven't had the time to watch their videos. It's like, I feel bad about it because, I know watching the videos, how you get your views. That's how you get your revenue. It's like, I just have not had the time. So I'm hoping maybe come winter, I can, catch up on a few people. I try to at least catch, one or two from time to time. So at least I'm still being connected with them, because there's a lot of people out there that is like, I like what they're doing. I feel like, I've connected with them, and I just would like to know that they're doing fine. I have 7,000 views. Oh, wow. You need to do up your tags to get more views. Do you know what the thing is with tags? for one thing, TubeBuddy changed their system. I would click on the suggested tags and that would help me. It's like by the time I get done everything and I do the editing, I'm just too tired to think of tags. I mean, sometimes I think of them and I just don't go back and update them. I should, and I just don't. It's like I just trying to get stuff done here, you know? Yeah, it's impossible. You try. I tried to at least touch base, you know. Dirt Patch Heaven did a live stream yesterday, and I did not have time to sit down and watch her live stream. But if I wake up in the middle of the night and I know that someone has a live stream that is, you know, a lengthy one, I'll click on that on my tablet and I'll stick it under my pillow and I'll kind of listen and then I'll fall asleep with it playing. You know, probably not the healthiest thing to do in the world, but you know, it gives them another view. And I did catch up with her later, you know, because I haven't seen her in a dog's age. She hadn't been posting that many videos, and I always liked her stuff. So anyway, it's YouTube is a job. Okay. If you're going to make anything out of it, it is a job. And that's how you have to treat it. And for me right now, I have a job. Actually, I have 2 jobs or 3, however you want to count it. You know, I'm driving for the Amish construction company. And, you know, I'm doing what I can to support them in regards to transportation. And that's been taking me away a lot more than what I had originally anticipated just lately. Okay. But I also have the job of trying to build things here. If I already had my infrastructure up, if I already had fences, if I already had buildings, it wouldn't be as time consuming. Okay. But I'm virtually building everything. Well, okay, I paid somebody for the barn. Okay. And they'll get around to getting it finished before too long. But, you know, this is the only thing that I did not build. Now, there's a few things that, because there's a crunch coming on and they do have to do their other, you know, build for other people. That's how they make their money. I told them, okay, if you can just do the things that I can't do myself, I'm fine with that. Okay. I can finish this wall off. You know, it's not that so high that I can't nail some boards up. You know, I can handle that. And I can handle making a door or 2. Okay. I can handle putting in a window. I mean, we're talking a barn. It's not like it's my house and everything has to be just perfect, you know? So, but, so if they just do my floor and get that wall finished and this wall finished, I can do everything else. Okay. They've got most of the hard part done for me. Okay. So anyway, yeah, I'm building this stuff myself, and I am not a professional carpenter by any stretch of the imagination. I don't have all the high-tech tools, you know, and I got to stop hurting myself. I really do. And I'm doing the best I can with what I have to work with. Okay. I cannot afford at this point to pay anybody to come in and do these things that I am capable of doing myself. Okay. Yeah, it's going to take me longer, but I can do it. It's just going to take me longer. So I can't afford right now to pay anybody for that. Like I said, I think I mentioned before, we are living on my husband's Social Security. Okay. And he has a very small out of the country pension, very small. Okay. He has not started drawing on his very small 401k yet. He wants to wait until he reaches the maximum age, and that's on him, his decision. Okay. So we're just getting that little bit. That's all we're living on. And whatever I get from the Amish guys, they put gas in the tank, and they've helped me with a few little things that's come up with the truck. But the feed, everything for the animals is coming out of what they pay me. Okay. And some of that, if I have enough after I buy feed, then I'll pick up some things. Like yesterday, I picked up some screws. Okay. So I'm trying to stay within my budget. Okay. That's why you'll see pallets, stacked up out here, because I'm using the wood. I'm taking them apart, or like for this floor I'm putting in, the pallets are staying together. I'm trying to find good ones. And I'm just adding more slats to them. And I'm giving them lots of support underneath. The ones that aren't sitting directly on the ground. And so that's my floor. Okay. And that'll be fine for a floor. And then I'll put some kind of framework up for, shelter for the tarp that's going to go over. So, I'm reusing, repurposing. I got lumber out here that's repurposed. Excuse me. So, now my Social Security, yeah, I'm that old, is going to be kicking in a couple of months. Okay. And then they'll give me a little bit extra money, and I can start getting a few things. Unfortunately, it still won't be enough to pay someone to come in here and help me. Whether or not I hang on to the Amish job, I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Reusing and repurposing is the way to go. It's the only way. It's the only way I can manage. Well, I'll tell you. Okay. I don't know if I mentioned before about how we got where we are. Okay. Let's touch on that for a minute here. In case somebody else wants to do this and they're like me and they really don't have a whole lot coming in. Okay. As y'all know, I lived in New Jersey. Okay. And my husband was forced to retire earlier than what he had planned. Not a lot earlier, but still. We figured we had time to look for things, look for places, and we could save up money and take care of stuff. Okay, well, they forced him to retire earlier, so that kind of really messed up our plans. We had to push harder. So I had done some research on where would be the best place to go. There were several things we had to take into consideration. One was my father, who was living with us at the time. Okay, and as a vet, I had to be within reasonable distance to a VA. Okay. Also, cost of living. Okay, because when my husband retired, the only thing he had coming in was going to be the Social Security. Okay. Guess what? If we had stayed in New Jersey with the taxes, that would have eaten up half of his Social Security each month. Half of it. Okay. There was no way. There was no way on the face of this earth that we could live in New Jersey with the Social Security. Now, I had quit my job to take care of my father. Okay. And so, there was a little bit coming in there. Okay. Because he was helping us out a little bit. So my job became taking care of my father. And there was some kind of a program where you could get paid for taking care of a family member. I was so busy, I never got into doing that. Okay. But my father had said, okay, whatever you need, here's my bank account. He made sure that my name was on it, and so I could, whatever expenses came up. Okay. So everything that, he was right on it. He knew exactly where things were going and what everything to do with my father, he was a part of. Okay. And so moving out of New Jersey, it was not just a necessity for us, but it was also a dream of my father's. he hated New Jersey. He hated it. And he so desperately wanted to leave New Jersey. And because I promised him that we would be moving out of New Jersey, that was the only way I could convince him to come and live with me. Okay? Because he didn't want to come back into New Jersey. But there was no place else for him to go. So I said, Dad, I promise you, we will get out of New Jersey. Okay? So we did. My husband and I, we sat down and we looked at our options. Okay? Now, he had a 401k. He has a 401k, which he's not drawn on right now. But the way the regulations are, he could take out a portion for property, okay, for your home. So we put our heads together. We discussed, okay, this is the facts. We need to get out of this state. No ifs, ands, or buts. He understood that. So what we decided to do is we agreed on a set amount. Okay, this is the amount that he agreed to take out of his 401k so that we could buy the land outright. Okay. So that's what we did. And so the land we own outright. And I've had several people tell me that was the best thing we could have done. Hey, if we lose the cabin, we can always pitch a tent, right? So that's how we were able to get this property, because on Social Security we would never been able to do it. Okay, we weren't getting anything from the sale of our home. There was no way, and that boils down to location, location, location. We were in a very bad location. Okay, houses weren't moving unless they were selling for dirt cheap. And it's like there was no way. It just we were getting nothing out of it. So we just up and went. Okay. Believe me, I looked into all of it. So then, being here, our taxes are so much lower. Not to mention, because of the lack of regulations, we are doing things here that would not be permitted in New Jersey. In New Jersey, you could not live in an unfinished home. You could not live in there unless you had a certificate of occupancy. Okay. In other words, somebody had to come in and inspect the home and say, okay, you can move in now. Okay. You couldn't do that in New Jersey. Here, we're living in an unfinished home. Okay. No problems. Nobody's coming to bother us about it. Now, I can't say that would be the same thing if we were living in, say, Lexington, the city of Lexington. Okay, I don't know. But out here where we are, nobody's coming to inspect us. Everything's hunky-dory. We can do whatever we want. Believe me, I asked about permits, okay? And I got some really strange looks from everybody I asked. It's like, it's your land. You can do whatever you want, you know? It's like they thought it was weird that, you know, I mean, hey, in New Jersey, I had to have a permit to put up a fence. It's crazy. So that's how we got our land, our property. And we're making it work. Now, my dad was investing a certain degree in the property. But, of course, when he passed away, that went too. Now, he did leave me a certain portion, some money. Okay, he left me some money, and it was specifically for the farm. Okay, infrastructure, breeding stock, and that's what I've done. Okay, it's almost all gone. I've got enough just to get this rainwater catchment system up. Okay, but I've tried to do things wisely. Like the barn was partially done with a cost share program. Okay, they allowed you a set amount to do a certain thing, and they would reimburse you a set amount of that cost. And so by doing that, that got the first half of the barn done, and I used the reimbursement money for fencing material. Okay. I had some fencing when we first moved here that I brought with me from New Jersey, and that gave me a single line for the horses, and that's all I needed for the horses. Okay, but for the goats, I needed something more. So that that reimbursement money from the barn project helped me buy fencing. 10% of the assessed cost of the project is what they charge here. Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they do in New Jersey. I don't know. But here I don't have any permits. I had nothing. I don't have to worry about anything. I had a licensed electrician hook up the electricity, and that's because that's something I don't do electricity. Okay, I just don't. I'm very nervous about that. It's a mental thing, you know. So I did do that, and he checked to see if I had to have it inspected, and if I had been in town, yeah, I would have had to have it inspected. But out here, insurance company didn't require it. Nope, don't need to have it inspected, so that saved me some money. But permits, no, didn't have to worry about anything like that. So, and now with the rainwater catchment system, that is also a cost share program. So the money that I had set aside for that, okay, when I get that reimbursed, depending on what's going on, I may use that to put gutters on the cabin, okay, and build up, make the rainwater catchment system bigger. Because this is something that I discovered, okay. I have a 500-gallon tank, okay, and it's not full. We had a good rain. We had over 5 inches of rain in 24 hours just recently, okay, and I had everything out, okay, to fill with water. I had my muck bucket. I had 5-gallon buckets all in under the eaves to collect water. Now, granted, I'll get water collection off the other side of the barn because I couldn't put buckets there because that's where the livestock goes in and out because they would have just dumped it. Okay. I'll get a lot of water on that side of the barn once it's hooked up. But I had the buckets and whatnot lined up on this side of the barn. Okay. And that water's gone. We used all that water up to water the livestock. Okay. So now I know that's not 500 gallons, but that's just a couple of days. Okay. And it's gone. We used it to water the ducks. We used it to water chickens. We used it to water goats. We used it to water horses. Okay. And that water's gone. Now I have rain barrels up by the cabin that are full. So we're good with water. Okay. And I think there's still water running in the creek. I kind of keep tabs on that. Okay. Oh, thank you for stopping by, Tinker's wife. Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking away. I wasn't reading the comments. California, you need a permit to wipe your head. Yeah, that's why we bought our retirement home in Idaho. Oh, yes, I hear Idaho is really good. I can build a 20 by 40 building, no utilities, without a permit. That's wonderful. You know what? And hey, unless you absolutely have to have the utilities, hey, at least you got shelter, right? So I really think that since we haven't had rain since that 5 inches in 24 hours, I really have a feeling that the 500-gallon tank is not going to be enough for when the periods for long stretches in between rains. Okay. So what I'm hoping to do is put gutters up on the cabin and get some IBC totes. I'm keeping my eyes and ears open for some inexpensive food grade IBC totes that we can use for that part of the rainwater catchment system. See, that's not under the cost share program. The catchment system off the barn is under the cost share program. So I have to do things a certain way for that one. But once I have that in, the tank in and the gutters in and it hooked up to a stock tank, that project is done. Okay. in their eyes. Now I'm going to have the plumbing set up so that I can hook up additional tanks. Okay, I'm just going to use the IBC totes because they're cheaper. And if I can use one, that's one more than what I have. If I can get two, that's wonderful. I'll get two. If I can get more than that, I'm fine. And the barrels I have right up there right now, the plan is to have one fed off of the guinea coop, another one fed off of the chicken coop, and then I'm thinking two hooked up off the goat pen. Now, somebody had sent me an automatic waterer back when we first moved here, and I can't remember exactly who it was that sent that. I've had several things sent to me, and I'm really bad at remembering things. I should have written on the gift, because then I probably would have remembered, and I didn't do that. But anyway, it's an automatic water system that's going to get hooked up for the goats, okay, in the goat barn, and it's going to be fed off of at least two 55-gallon water tanks, water barrels, rain barrels, okay. So that'll take care. That'll have water for the goats in the barn, okay, or near the barn. See how that works out. There will be water fed by a barrel for the chickens. Okay, there's plus another barrel at the guinea coop, because I'll still use that guinea coop for birds I need to separate for whatever reason. Okay, and then I'll have the 500-gallon tank here that will feed the stock tank, which the horses will have access to. Okay, and also the goats will have access to it as well. So I haven't. The only thing that's slowing me down there a little bit is trying to figure out the exact placement for that stock tank, because I want to maximize its availability. Okay, so if I can put it on a fence line so that it's an oval stock tank, so one end is on one side of the fence and the other end is on the other side of the fence, so that they'll have access from both sides. Any IBC totes can be used for non-potable water toilets. Yeah, depending on what was in the tote will determine if you can use it for animal water or human drinking water. Yeah, I know, and that's why I need to be very, very careful about that. I know that I could buy new ones, but they cost more. There's a place in Lexington that sells reclaimed IBC totes, and they can be used for potable water, depending on which ones you buy, of course. But they do have ones that are safe for potable water. Of course, they're like $125 a piece, last time I checked. So that is an option. See the tank here, the 500-gallon tank. The price from the company was under $400. I'd have to check the receipt, but it's I'm thinking it was $391, but don't quote me on that. But I know it was a little over $300. Okay, and less than $400. That was just the cost of the tank itself. The cost of shipping, that cost me almost $300 more. Okay, but even doing that way, it was still cheaper than what the local farm supply store was going to charge me. So that's why I opted to do that. If I had the money, I would have tried to get two tanks, but it would have made it too tight, and I got to make sure I had the money for the project. Okay. So the only option would be the IBC totes. I don't know if I will be able to afford to have both sides of the cabin guttered, but even if I just have the one side guttered for right now, that would be something, because we do get quite a bit of rain off the side that has the porch. We get quite a bit of water off of that, because I've got 3 rain barrels, closed rain barrels, that I keep full. Okay, from that side. I have 2 other rain barrels on the back side of the cabin. And I have an open barrel that I have no gutter set up for. It's just collecting whatever falls off the roof. Okay. And that gets used. I use that for washing things out that is not for food, like for the wash the waters out for the birds, to wash the poop off the steps if the ducks get up there and poop, things like that. Little things that I just need something to scrub with. Okay, but it's not for our use. We don't use the open rain barrel for our use in the way of drinking or anything like that. I guess we could if we ran it through the filter, but I've got cleaner water. I don't need to use that one. That barrel is not very clean. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that one. I want to get all the blue barrels out from in front of the cabin. I really do. They're serving a purpose, so it is what it is. But it doesn't look very good, But you do what you got to do. Got several from farmers that had blended seaweed in it for free. Oh, blended seaweed. Really? No, that would be safe, wouldn't it? Because, people eat seaweed. Dulse is a delicacy up in Canada, and that's a seaweed. So, yes, it's very, I don't know. I can ask around and see if any farmers get anything like that. I know they use them a lot for like spraying fertilizer and chemicals and stuff like that. It's like, okay, I definitely don't want those. And if I had to pay $125 for a tote that I know for sure is safe for drinking water, then I'll do it. I don't think that's too much for being sure. But if I can find them cheaper, maybe a little bit closer to home, then fine. Okay. I've done some research on them, and I know that supposedly the ones with the red lids are the food grade ones, the food safe ones. But you know what? Those lids can be changed out by unscrupulous people. So, and I think that might have been what happened with the totes I have here, because they're not very clean. I had asked for clean totes, and he did not send me clean totes. But I think they're okay as a backup water source for the livestock, and that's what I'm planning on using them for. We washed them out and gave it a bleach treatment. Better be safe than sorry. Cheap Harbor Freight tarps can be used to funnel rainwater into a cistern. Yep. But I don't have a cistern, unless you're referring to the IBC totes as a cistern. I've seen people use tarps before. You just got to make sure you have a way of supporting them so that they actually do funnel down. And that's possible. I could set up a couple of pallets, I guess. I got plenty of pallets. But yeah, that can be done. But I've got all these plans for the water. We do have the creek, but the creek only runs when we have decent rain. Okay. It's running right now. I think we had enough rain the other day where it's going to run for a little bit longer. I'll be checking on it. But so that's okay. The horses will go down to the creek, and they will drink from the creek. That's not a problem. My problem is the goats. I don't know if they will go down and drink out of the creek. Everything I've read, they will not necessarily do that. So I don't know. They'll drink from a puddle. They'll drink from, a bowl, a stock tank, something that's still, but a running creek, I don't know if they will. I guess if they get thirsty enough, they will. Grandsons are hollering for me to play with them. Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much for stopping by, and go in and enjoy your grandsons, because they won't be little for long. Thank you very much. Anyway, um, so I guess I keep coming back to the rainwater catchment system, don't I? Haven't I covered that a couple of times in these live streams? Uh, well, anyway, it's just one of those things. There's always something, and I'm hoping that's right there. That is the cement for the concrete pad that I have to set the tank onto. And as soon as I get this hay shelter done, then that'll be next on my agenda. The cement pad for the barrel. Okay, not the barrel, the tank, the storage tank. So the guys hopefully are going to be here this week, and they're going to put the fascia boards on the barn. And then once I get the fascia boards in the barn, and I get the pad for the tank set, and I have the tank there, then I can call the guys to come and put the gutters on. Now, spoke to them. They were 3 weeks out. So that would put it, if I can get it done this week, and that's a big if I can, then that would put it into close to the end of October. And, if we get some rain, that would be awesome. I have a ball valve that I can screw into the tank, and then I can, once I have that in, I can put that in as soon as the tank is set, and then I can do the plumbing after that. I've got a whole system. I got my drawing. I drew out the plans and everything for so that I can have the ball valve from the tank at the tank. Okay, so I can shut that off to work on plumbing. And then I have a line going, it'll be a 4-way, okay? There'll be a brass hose bib, okay? So I'll hook a hose up to it. There will be a line going down that'll go out and feed the stock tank. And I'll have to dig a trench to bury that line, because I definitely want that buried. And there'll be a line coming out so that it can be hooked up to a water pump, okay, a pressurized water pump. And that will depend on, I may have to wait till my Social Security starts coming in before I can get the pump. I'm getting the Harbor Freight one that runs about $150. But here's a big thing, okay? And this is huge. They are building a brand new Harbor Freight right down in London, okay? And that is a city that I go to frequently. That's where the Walmart is that I will go to. That's where Tractor Supply is I go to. Okay, yeah, so if you happen to be in London and you shop in those, you might see me. Oh, okay, I'm not there every day, okay? I'm just not there every day. I try not to go more than once a week. And actually, if I can stretch it to even like once a month, that's about what I'd like to be, is once a month, go to those places. But anyway, so Harbor Freight is going to be right there, okay, in London. That's where I want to get the pump from my water system. And if they are building a brand new store, I am hoping and praying that they have it stocked and operational and have their grand opening when I am ready for the pump, so that hopefully I can get a really decent discount, because with those grand openings, you usually get some really good coupons. So that is what I'm hoping and praying for. I have seen a 10% off coupon, and I think I've seen a 20% coupon. I'm hoping for better than 20%. Okay, so we'll see. But that is what I'm hoping for. So if I can get that, then like I said, this time next year I will have running water. One way or another, I will have running water this time next year. Now, hopefully, it depends on how the winter goes as to whether or not I can get hooked up before it gets cold. That depends, okay? That There's a lot of things that need to line up. Okay. And there's just so much. I mean, like I said, I'm doing this on a budget. And, if I can do this on a budget, you can do this on a budget. Okay. But you've got to be willing. You got to know where the priorities are. Okay. Okay. Some people would say, well, don't you think running water is a priority? Well, yes and no. I mean, yeah, it would really have been nice to have running water. But at the same time, I have water. Okay. Yeah, it's a pain to have to fill the jugs. Okay. And I went from a manual siphon, and now I've got a pump, but the pump does not have an on-off switch. You have to unplug it for it to stop. Okay. And it's just a little pump. It was fairly cheap. Okay. All this I'm doing on a shoestring. Okay. And I'm making do. I'm trying to make the dollar stretch. Okay. As best I can to accomplish a certain end. So I have water. I've been able to collect rainwater. So I'm good. Okay. For the longest while, I had water for the horses because I had a creek running. Okay. So I was good. Okay. And I put it in the hand pump for the well. The well's not the best. It's sulfur water. Okay. But I guess if you're really thirsty, it's better than nothing. Okay. I put the hand pump in there. I can use that. Okay. I did spend the money on an Alexa Pure filtration system. So we can use that, okay, for our drinking water. The only problem I had is during the summer, it wasn't really keeping up. But then again, what I found out is that if I didn't put water in it, that chances are my husband and my son didn't put water in it. So I kind of had to make sure that there was water going into it so that we would have it. So we ended up still buying some drinking water, just not the volume like we were buying. So we have decreased the amount. Just during the summer, of course, you use more water. Okay, so the priority for me was, okay, we had water. We had a water supply. Okay, the priority was getting the infrastructure in. Okay, we had a roof over our heads, even though it wasn't finished. We had a roof. We had insulated walls. Okay, my ceiling still isn't done, but that's because I can't do the 2x4s on my saw right this minute because just the way things are. Okay, hopefully that'll change soon, especially if they get the floor done in here. So anyway, so that the barn was the priority because I had to have some place where I could have the animals, well, not penned in, but they have shelter, as much for me as it was for them. Okay, and also have a place where I could store their feed. Okay, because that was a problem. Okay, you got to have some kind of a storage place where you can lock up your feed, because animals, they don't understand that if they have more than so much feed that it will make them sick and it could kill them. They don't get that. All they know is, oh boy, that tastes really good and I'm going to eat as much as I can. Okay, and end up with a dead animal. Okay, so you have to have a place where you can safely lock it up. Okay, and also keep it dry. Okay, so the barn was a priority. Okay, so we got the shelter. We had water, even though it wasn't running. Okay, we had water. We got a barn. Okay, and then of course you have to have fences. Now, the fences are not as good as what I would like, but they're functional. Okay, they do the job. Okay, for the most part. Everything else is priority. Okay, like the hay shelter has been bumped up to a priority because winter's coming and I have to have hay for the animals. They have to eat. Okay, the grazing is pretty much done. Okay, so I have to have that. So then after that, then I have to get the chicken coop done because my birds are just about to laying age and I have no place for them to lay their eggs right now. So they could be laying eggs just about anywhere. Okay, and after cracking open store-bought eggs this morning because I ran out of the farm fresh eggs that I'd gotten from my friend. I'm sorry. I'm really looking forward to having fresh eggs from my own birds. It will be so nice. So anyway, so that's how it's going right now. Off of here, one of the things I got to do, we've got to fill jugs with water. We got to pump it out of the rain barrels and fill. We got like 20, 30 jugs that we fill. And we've got rain coming in sometime later this week, and I will make sure that my makeshift rain gutters are positioned so that they will fill the barrels that we take water from. So I don't take the water all the way down. I only take it to where, okay, I got this gutter system. Excuse me, it's not true gutters. It's just some leftover metal pieces that I use to funnel the water into the rain barrels. Okay. And I just try to make sure that those rain barrels are not so low that they can't be filled again with one good rain. Okay. That's how I do it. So I'll take so many out of the one barrel, then I switch it to another barrel. Okay. So it's not too low. Okay. So there's always water because, the rain hasn't been as frequent this year as it was the previous year, and even the year before that, which was the wettest year on record for this state. So, you got to have the rain in order for your barrels to be full. So I try not to get them down to where they're next to empty. Okay. I'm trying to pay attention to that. Once I get the IBC totes for up there by the cabin, I will feel much better. But like I said, having this one is a big plus. That'll take care of the stock tank, and also the hydrant that was sent to me by Dawn, that will be pressurized, and that's going to be on that side of the barn. Okay, and that's why that's not being installed right now, because I have to wait until I have the pump so I can have it hooked up to that. The pump will feed that hydrant, and it will feed the cabin. Okay, so I'll have some pressurized water for down here for the animals, but most pressurized water will be in the cabin. Okay, and I think that will work out just fine. And now I got to go get to work, because I got to do the rain. I got to do the jugs of water, and also I have to get working on the hay shelter. I'm still working on the floor. Once I get the floor done, then I can go and get these pieces together, and hopefully in a couple days I can get some hay delivered. So anyway, and I'm trying not to use that too much. So, but it is what it is. Hopefully, I tried a brace, and the brace wasn't really helping anything. I tried going without a brace, and I kept using my thumb, and it was getting better, and then when it get worse, then it was getting better, then it was getting worse. It's like, you know what? And then I remembered, oh wait, I do have an ace bandage up in a bin upstairs, and yes, there were two ace bandages, small ones. So I figured, okay, I'll try strapping that up and see if that helps. Well, we'll see. Time will tell. So, anyways, yammered on long enough. Just same old, work. So, hope y'all are enjoying this lovely cooler weather. Hopefully it's not too cold where you are. I hear we are supposed to have a little bit of a warm up. I think that's for everybody that's experiencing the cold. And beautiful weather means getting more work done. So that's what I'm off to do. So everybody, have a good one, and I'll see you next time.